God.
Yo, what is this? Episode 5 now.
Episode 5.
Five? We're the fifth one.
Oh wow.
We're best friends and we're the fifth
I thought we were
episode.
the second one. Okay.
Yeah, well, if you were here, you would probably be number 2.
Yeah, like keep it. I was even putting it off. Hussein's been on my ass about it. Zay, let's get Ben and
Bro,
Josh.
you
Let's
have
get Ben
no
and Josh.
idea.
I'm the one who's been putting it off. Like, bro, I don't want to deal with the headache of having to go and record with somebody who's like in the UK or whatever, having to deal with you.
I
having to
see,
deal
I
with-
see.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. So that's
So-
like it's all you can
Sorry.
blame me.
We are a whole day post launch of the first episode, and I think I can say that it's exceeded my expectations. The amount of people that listened and watched and showed support and everything.
Yeah,
So,
we appreciate that for
so
sure.
anyone
Like,
who's listening 5 episodes in, hopefully.
Me
thank you
and
so much
Josh,
for your
we're probably
support.
the only listeners.
Yeah.
at this
It's just
point.
gonna be you two, to be
You,
honest.
you know what's trippy is that we're now talking to the people who like stuck through it, even though just now what's happening is the people are just finding out about the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
So if you're still watching, love you.
Muchas
Anyways.
gracias.
So, Ben and Josh,
What's up?
why don't you introduce yourselves and we could talk about how we met.
Well, you could start first because you met Hussein before I did.
Alright.
I love this story.
It's a great story.
I'm Josh. Oh, there's a camera. I'm Josh. I'm 20. I'm at uni in England. In Oxford.
Love Island audition and everything.
In Oxford.
Intelligent guy right here.
In Oxford.
In Oxford.
What do you do in Oxford? Where do you
Wait,
study?
which
Where do I
which uni in
study?
Oxford?
Sorry. What? Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So so I know Hussein from I know Hussein from school. We went to school in Dubai together, and so how we met. Basically, I hated this guy so much. I didn't really like him the first time I met him. The vibes, I was like, yo, this guy's a bit weird. And I remember I went. I think we were in the same form.
But
So
bearing in mind, best friends for 8 years. So just
we were in
put
the
that
same
there.
form, and then at break time that day, I went to my
Came and
my
disrupted the flow.
I went to my friend group and I was just like, yo guys, there's literally no one good in my form. Everyone's annoying. Hussein's behind
Oh,
me.
you said that in front of me. I was right there. And I was like, thanks.
and I turned around and I was like, except for this guy, this is Hussein, guys. And I was
You're actually wild. Joshua is savage. Yeah, so Hussein came and basically screwed up your whole friend dynamic with Ben.
Talk about that English class. Because that English class kind of changed everything.
English class. Okay, so so it was just after a school trip. The school trip Hussein really annoyed me, and I was like,
He annoyed a lot of people.
he annoyed
from what
a
I
lot
know.
of people. And then in the English class when we
What'd
came
he do?
back,
Basically, he was like, he had just joined the school, and I wasn't actually on this trip, but he had just joined the school, and apparently he'd gone into people's rooms with like
Okay,
other
wait,
people.
wait, wait.
No. I'm prefacing this. He'd gone into other people's rooms as they were sleeping, and he thought it'd be a good idea to flick the light switches on and turn the AC or the heating
yeah.
or turn the AC off.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, this is the desert in Dubai, so everyone was dripping in
Okay.
sweat.
Do I get a chance to explain, or am I just
explain,
No,
gonna?
no,
explain,
we're moving on now. We're
Explain
moving
what?
on.
What are you
No,
gonna
we
say?
were okay. So we were like 2 large groups of guys sharing 2 rooms. Okay, I will say I was not extremely comfortable with these people, and they weren't extremely comfortable with me either. But I was simply the secondary man in this operation. Hamada, if you're listening, shout out Hamada. But Hamada was the one who was like, yo, let's go into the room. He's the one who opened the door, fucking turned on the lights, shouted, and all I did was be there. And then you remember Sina?
Sina?
Sina comes in the room. He comes in our room when we're done, and he's like, "Who the fuck are you? You've been in our school for 5 minutes. Fucking have some respect. Sit down,
Yeah.
you little bitch." And this guy went crazy.
Yeah, I know,
He
because
was so
before
mad.
he came, he was like, what should I say? And we were all just shouting at him, say this, tell him he's this, tell him he's that. So he went in, he said it all to you.
Nah.
But yeah, anyway, so that happened. Then
They
there was,
actually moved him.
then,
He's their toy soldier, huh? They actually winded him up and moved him up, huh?
then there was an English
But yeah,
class the
continue,
next week.
Josh.
There's an English class the next week, and there's supposed to be like a pair thing. And I was looking over at, I think, Shan or something. And then Saint's like, oh, Josh, we'll work together. And I'm like, all right. Okay. And he was really excited. I was like, oh, I'll do it, fine. And then after that, we worked together. I think we presented, and it was enjoyable. And then we started hanging out, and yeah.
And at this time, let's say mine and Josh's friendship was a bit shaky. Would you say?
Yeah.
No, it was a bit shaky at that time. So
Why do you say that?
It was.
Is it because you left him for another friendship group because you thought you were better than
Let's
him? I'm
say
just
that
spitballing, like, I'm
back
just
in the
talking out
day.
my ass.
Let's say
Whoa.
that
Are we about to
back
have
in the
like a
day,
whole?
me and you, baby. Let's say
Oh my
I
God.
thought I was a cool guy, and I just was a bit immature, and basically I left my day one.
Just,
and I basically lost track of who my friends were, and then basically Josh started becoming very close with Hussein. But a lot of people, well, I say a lot of people, I specifically really didn't like Hussein just because of the way he acted. He was like a really cocky guy, and I didn't like his vibe at all when he first joined. And I suppose,
I
I suppose a little bit, I suppose a little bit of it was probably because, you know, you had started becoming close with Josh. Now I was like, oh fuck this guy. Who does he think he is? The thing is, Josh actually said like, he said ages ago, like me and Hussein hated each other for a long period of time, and
Bro,
you
he
know,
used to come home and rant about this. Oh my God, Ben.
I don't remember this.
Yeah,
This
he
guy's
used to-
bullshit.
In your
Yo,
head,
No,
rent
I
free.
promise you, he used to come.
literally like,
He
and
used to
Josh
come
would
and be like, Ben, oh my God, he's so immature. He's so angry at me because I don't accommodate him. Da, 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 this and that.
I don't think that happened.
I promise
I-
you.
I
I,
don't think
promise
that
you. Like I have distinct memories of this.
No, the thing is,
Anyways,
yeah,
so then-
like we just hated each other, you know, and then
One day,
yeah,
one day in the second year that like I was there was like a big fight event, like
Okay.
and that everyone was watching. And then after that fight event, Josh messaged me and he was like, Ben said he wants to fight you, but you're too scared. So then I messaged Ben. I was like, "What, you want to
Yeah.
fight me? I'll fight you with gloves on. I'll fight you on the street, whatever. Like we can run it right now." And then what did you say? You said no. You said some pussy shit. You said like, "I'm not gonna fight you now because we're probably gonna end up fighting eventually. So I'm just not gonna fight you."
Yeah, you did say that.
Don't
did I
even
say?
lie.
You did,
No,
you
you
did.
did say that. Don't
You're
even.
gonna fight eventually.
I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
fight
Yeah.
out.
Was it not because we were just started playing football in the team together? Or something like
No, because this was August. This was August 25th. August 25th. You'll see. So it was
August
before
25th, we
the-
didn't have school.
No, that's why. And you messaged him.
Exactly. It was before
Wow.
the
Oh,
school
we-
year.
yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
I
messaged
don't know. Anyways, regardless.
Yeah, moving on. We and then nothing happened. We didn't fight. And
Yeah.
then actually we did fight twice, but that's after.
It's
Who
irrelevant.
won?
And he did.
That's
And
why
then-
you wanted
Let's
to go
let's
so
talk
wrong.
about the
Okay,
pivot. Let's
about
talk
it.
about the pivotal
will,
point.
we will,
We'll
we
talk
will.
about the pivotal point in how we became friends.
Yeah. So Josh's birthday was coming up, September 19.
And,
Oh wow! You didn't even get my birthday
17,
right.
17, 17,
September
17,
19.
17, 17, 17, 17,
Oh
Wow.
Oh my god,
Wow. Okay.
17.
You're a real friend.
Anyways,
that's crazy.
so me and Ben, being like his two best friends, we had to get along because we were trying to plan like a really big thing for Josh's birthday. So we just ended up like, I think I messaged him or he messaged me. I don't remember who messaged who, and whoever messaged was like, "Yo, like, let's just put aside our differences. Like, let's just do something for Josh, and then if we want to hate each other after, we can hate each other after."
yeah, it was
And
something
then
like
after that, we kind of just we made up. You know, we settled our differences. We became really good friends.
Cute.
I
And then
called
we
it.
had two
I called
boxing
it.
No,
matches.
no, bro, you're missing out the basketball story.
I called it they'd be friends by the way.
Oh, there's a basketball story?
The
Yeah, so
basketball story.
we were on the basketball team, right?
Okay.
And Ben, the thing is, Ben was so good. They told him he shouldn't be playing. He should
Yeah.
just stay on the bench because he's.
They said I was literally the best player on the team. That they didn't want to. They didn't want to make it unfair, so they put me on the bench
Yeah.
and made it so I was more of a cheerleading role. And I was more of a cheerleading role for the team. And anyways, basically,
Yeah, so anyway-
yeah.
We had a game, and it was, let's say, it was really physical, and I remember like I got bodied once, and then I got mad, so I bodied him.
Well, the thing is,
And
you're
then that
actually
was kind of
missing
the
out
end
the
of it.
beginning of the story because I had rugby training before the basketball game, and those guys, like the other team, were coming to our school, and as I was walking to training, they like the guy who will come in the story later. He was like talking shit to me as I was going to carrying like the rugby balls and stuff like that. And like he didn't even know who I was. I could have just been a random person at the school, and he was like, "Oh, what, you think you're big because you've got a tank top on?" And I was just walking with rugby balls. I was like, "What?" And then
What is these
it's like
insecure people
they
about,
said something
man?
in Arabic. I didn't understand what they were saying, and then I just kept walking. And then I came back up, and I told Hussein what had happened, and then the game started getting physical, right?
Yeah. And then after the game,
Wait, so is the game against another school or is it pick up between
no,
you?
Yeah.
another school.
Oh, okay. So you guys in the same team?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
For
And
sure.
so after the game, I'm in the changing room. I remember very clearly. I was changing my shirt, and then Arlos, like some big guy, comes in the changing room, and he's like, "Yo, Hussein, that guy outside said he wanted to fight you." And then I was like, "What?" So I put my shirt on, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go outside." And then Ben was like, "Wait, I'm coming too." And then we both go like downstairs outside looking for them, like right at the security gate of the school.
Okay.
And then like we started talking up to them, like, oh, like if you wanted to fight, like we can run it. And then like me and Ben were like side by side, like we like had each other's back and everything. And then
Did you end up fighting or no?
no.
Classic.
Bro, the principal was right there. And then no, the thing is we squared up and like we were ready, and then like I was getting like my hand out, and then he looks at my hand, he's like, "Where is the hand going?
What is the hand
Where
doing?
is that hand
Where is the
going?"
hand going?
And then the principal happened to finish work at that time. And yeah, obviously we never fought, but it was just like a defining moment where we just kind of realized like we will have each other's backs like that, you know. And yeah, and then after that, like things just started to click between me and Ben.
Yeah.
And Josh lived happily ever after because his two best friends were now best friends.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it,
'cause-
was, it was a W. I was calling it from year 12. I was telling both of them because they have very similar traits. I'm like, you guys are gonna like be best friends one day, and they're like, nah, shut up.
Never,
I'll never be
never.
friends with that guy. This.
No, I hate him. I hate
I
him.
hate him. Wallah, I hated
'cause
him.
That's what happens so many times. Like, a lot of people don't realize that if they met themselves in another form, they would not like themselves.
100%.
And
Yeah.
that's literally what happened with you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I always look at myself like, holy fuck, if I was actually seeing myself from an external point of view, I would like be hating myself. I'd be like, who's this guy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
happened.
There's
that's how it
one
was.
thing. One thing I want to touch on. Obviously, today's a big day.
Ooh,
Today's a very big day for Ben.
brah.
Indeed.
And the call has dropped. Oh, you're back.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
today's a
still
very
good,
big
still
day
good.
for Ben, and it's I don't know. It's like I think it's a monumental moment in your life, and I'd like. Do you want to talk about it? What's happening today?
It's fight night, baby.
It's fight day, baby. Just got a MMA fight today. Three rounds. And it's just something that we've been building up to for a long time. We've had
Prediction?
No, relax.
done
Talk,
in
man,
one,
talk.
done in one, or two or three, or decision. One of those, you know. But
Just done. It's gonna be done eventually.
it'll be done. Yeah. You know, it's just something that I suppose it's like not like a thing that I want to tick off. Like I've always wanted to do, but it's like an aspiration of like, you know. I suppose when you do something for so long and you want to push yourself to like a more advanced stage in the sport, you don't want to just keep doing it for the participation level. Do you know what I mean? You want to sort of push yourself a bit further, and you know, we're at that point now where I'm training and you know, I'm you know, ready to compete, whether that be in an amateur level or, you know, well, at one point, you know, we could get to a professional level. You know, it might not be like, you know, it might not happen, but it, you know, that's what I'm aiming for. You know, at some point, you know, strive.
So talk about
You know.
like your background in fighting. What type of fighting are you in, and how did you were you in MMA from the start, or was you a boxer first, or how did it start?
Let me preface this by saying, me and Ben started training at the same time. I think you started like 2 weeks before me.
Maybe.
And
Yeah, because we
now
were training
I am-
for each other. We were going to box each other. That's
Yeah.
why we started.
No, but when we joined Tiger, that's when we took it like serious.
Shout out
That's what
Tiger,
I'm talking.
shout out Tan, shout out Tan
Shout out
Kantorak,
Tiger. Shout out Coach Mehdi, Coach
Shout
Ahmed,
Coach
Coach
Shout-
Frank.
Mehdi.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say Coach Frank.
Coach Frank.
Yeah, yo, Coach Frank. I only
but,
hear good things about
anyways.
you, Coach Frank.
Yeah, so he started like 2 weeks before me. Anyways, now a year and a bit later, he's having his first fight. Some people are 10 pounds overweight, but you're having your first fight,
Hey,
and
but
that's
you,
all
you
that
had an
matters.
ACL injury. You can't count
Nah,
that.
it's all good
You had
though.
an
It's
ACL
all
injury.
good. Anyways, what did when you started training? Did you think that this is something that you want to pursue as much as you're pursuing?
Yeah, of course. You know, it was sort of, I
I
suppose.
just wanted to kick your ass.
I suppose when you think about fighting, a lot of people think of it as, I don't like telling people that what I'm competing in, because I don't know, a lot of people, especially in the UK, a lot of people have, especially men, a lot of lads have like problems with masculinity and like stuff like that, and like ego. So for example, I was out the other night and I was telling someone like, oh yeah, I'm competing soon, I can't wait. And he was like, oh, what do you do? And I'm like, yeah, I box, you know, I do some MMA as well. And he was like, oh, let's throw the hands up now, let's do a little body spar. I bet just watch out, be careful of my hands. And I
Bro,
was
people
like,
do that so much.
yeah. But to answer the question, I didn't think that I'd ever be having an actual fight until like I trained just with Hussein just because we thought we were good at it when we weren't. You know, we thought we were really good when we were really bad, and then
We really
we started getting to a decent level, and then we had opportunities coming our way. Like I had opportunities to have a fight in Dubai for actual money. But the opponent, he couldn't make weight, so that would have been a big opportunity, and that was like a 6-week proper training camp every day, cutting weight as well. I got to about 78.5, something like that, and that was a real experience.
Bear in mind, he was like 84.
Kilograms for Canadian
kg.
listeners who deal in pounds. He was in kg.
Yeah.
How much is that? That's like
That's like 185 pounds.
180, 170 pounds, something like that.
185 pounds to 175 pounds, basically. That's what happened.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And then the guy didn't make weight, so this was like sort of after that I sort of got in like a state where I was like, right, well, I just need to fight now. Like, and I went through this period of just eating and just being depressed that I couldn't compete because COVID was a big issue as well with sports and stuff. It was a really big problem to get into gyms, get sparring going. And then, this opportunity came around and I thought, just throw everything I can at it and hopefully, my best effort will be enough to succeed. And, we'll find out in, 6 or so hours,
Yeah.
inshallah.
Yeah. Come on, then.
But I'm very optimistic.
Bro, you're gonna kick his ass. Listen,
Yeah.
you need to go to him. Be like, Zayd told me kick your ass.
Zayd actually told me. He was
Whisper in his ear. Zayd told me kick your ass.
It's gonna be
Honestly, no,
it's gonna
but
be
with
big.
full faith.
Yeah, and one thing I want to talk about. So obviously Josh is here. Josh has come down all the way from Oxford to come just to watch this fight. And
What a good friend.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, a year and a half ago, Josh would not have done something like that.
Yeah, I'd probably agree.
I
with
think
that.
we all know that.
Yeah.
Why?
I think we all know
Just
that.
because I think it's fair to say, as a group of three, that we've all matured a lot. I just think back then you would have been like, not immature,
9 hours
but
on
like
the bus, like
you just
screw that. I don't want to do it.
Wait, he took
Yeah.
9 hours on the bus?
Something like
Yeah.
that.
This guy's a warrior. I'm not doing that for my friend. Actually, I am, maybe. I don't know, but that's
Bro,
crazy.
it
It's
was
making me think twice.
It's the thing is, you're probably right, because the thing is, you're right, we have grown together as a group, right, as a three, and I think I knew when Ben showed up for my birthday, I was really happy, obviously,
Yeah,
right, he
so
surprised me, but
surprised
in my
him.
head, I was like, I will literally, if this guy needs me, I'm there. If he'd come down all the
Yeah.
way just to come surprise me for my 20th, it's not even my 21st, well, fuck it, I'm there, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it just spoke levels, like, there's a lot of things
I
we do for
respect
each
that.
other, but yeah.
I respect that. It's really nice to see that this is like another like huge friendship moment for the two of you. Like it's heartwarming to see too, and like considering where we used to be.
He's not jealous
Oh.
of you guys at all. At
Where-
all.
No, I am. Where
this
we
is
used
a
to be.
this is a big topic of conversation actually, talking about where we were as to where we are now.
This is one thing that I wanted to dedicate a little bit of time to talk about. So we weren't always we've always been close, but we weren't always healthy like in our friendship group. There was so much
Yeah.
like unhealthy banter, belittling, stupid, pointless, worthless arguments, to the point that like on like a weekly basis, I would tell Josh, I think I'm done being friends with Ben, or I would tell Ben, I think I'm done being friends with Josh, and they do the same thing about me.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
every good friend group has like that period of time where
Yeah.
you're like that.
I think so too.
100%.
I think so too. I think the three of us are gonna be best friends for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
For
This
life.
is, you've been through the worst times with each other.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like for example, like not to fully expose ourselves, but we may have made certain, we sort of had a period of time where we dedicated a few like days of our lives to making things to insult each other, and
Say no more. Say no more on that.
Yeah.
Say no more on that.
Is that what I
And
think it is?
Huh? Yes.
that
Oh
caused
my God,
a lot
no
of
way.
controversy because
yeah.
And that
you
was
know,
serious?
Shh, no.
Okay.
well, it got serious.
It got very.
One
it's-
of them was. One of them
Yeah.
was serious.
We won't
but
say
it was
any. We won't say any more
It was
about
serious, but not joking. But me and Josh basically had this like ridiculously huge argument, and then
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Anyways, no, we shouldn't touch on that. But
It's mad, but the
but
point
we had, like-
the point is we grew from that, and it's in the past, and
What
it doesn't.
was your
it
opinion
doesn't-
on that? Because like you even to this day you still don't like
I
touching on
think-
it because
I-
me and Hussein joke with it sometimes, but like even you don't like
I hate
touching
it because that was horrible. That was me and my two best friends, and I feel like I couldn't talk to them, for that period of time, and I just felt really alone.
To explain it, it was just
It was
we basically did something to.
Talk about it from your perspective.
okay.
Josh.
Okay,
Well,
well,
how would you describe it without describing it? It was sort of just
okay. So something happened. Things were said to each other.
yeah.
that-
We would basically insult each other
Yeah, and
to hurt each other's feelings.
yeah. So
See who can hurt each other's
it
feelings.
started
the
off as a joke, and then it got really serious. And for me, it was really upsetting because I don't know. It got to me, and yeah, I mean, I might have told people about it that I probably shouldn't have, but then I just felt really upset and alone, and I was like, I don't know if I've still got this. Like, if me and Hussein are ever gonna be the same. I knew me and Ben were kind of okay, but the whole time, because it was mostly me and Hussein going back and forth, and it's just Ben like, I'm impartial, and I was just
bro,
like,
he would tell you he's impartial, but on chat with me, I
Yeah.
wish I saved the messages, yo.
No,
'Cause
I
he was
know,
like,
I
"Oh,
know.
Bro, Josh is so wrong. He's such an idiot. He doesn't know anything.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, but I wasn't gonna say that because why would I put myself in the argument? I can give my opinion, but when you guys are arguing, I don't want to put my opinion in there.
Yeah. But the point is, I don't like talking about things like that because it's like, I don't know, it wasn't a happy period for me. It did affect me even
This was
afterwards.
lockdown as well. You
Yeah,
have to understand.
and
This was
even
lockdown.
even after that period when I said I was fine, I wasn't fine for a
Yeah.
while. For a while there, I was feeling really down. So I don't like talking about it because that was a dark time for me. Like, it was probably a month or two in lockdown there where I felt like shit.
It's-
And now I'm happy, and we've grown so much from it. So,
It's sort of like when you feel like the only two people that you really. For me, I feel like I can go through the rest of life with, like 2-3 best friends, and then I will be, I was set for life. I don't need any more friends outside of you two and maybe like some other people in our like small friend group. I don't need anybody else. So I assume like when you have that and you feel like the only like two people, like your two best friends in the world, like are saying these things and doing these things towards you, it was sort of like, well, who do I have now type of thing. Do you know what I mean? And it sort of must have
Yeah.
felt some of us like lonely, especially in lockdown. Like
Yeah.
lockdown was hard
Yeah.
mentally on everybody, so that made it 10 times worse, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it was bad. Like, okay, so without touching into too much detail, me and Ben had a period where we didn't talk for like 2-3 months.
I think that's the time where you were ranting about Ben to me.
Could have been.
That,
When was
that
this?
might have been that time.
Was this was this the
This
beginning?
was after my surgery.
Okay.
You
okay.
know exactly what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
And I remember I was like, whoever asked me about Ben, I'd be like, yeah, I don't fuck with Ben anymore,
yeah.
And it was
On
just
the
like,
regular.
yeah.
I thought you were a dick, bro. Like that time, I just thought you were a genuine dickhead. Like Hussein would come home, he'd be like, "Yeah, man,
It's okay. Don't get into too much detail.
it's okay." Yeah, but I'm just my bad.
Yeah, and the thing is, right? This has happened before, and the last time it happened was like in December, last December.
Okay.
And I kind of was like, okay, I guess Ben has gone like from my best friend to like just a friend. And then he was in the UK and he wasn't supposed to come back to Dubai. And then we were at the beach, I remember. And then I just like looked to my left and Ben is like walking towards me. And then when I saw Ben, I was like, yo, okay, fine. Maybe he's a little bit more than just like an acquaintance or a friend, you know.
It was to
Maybe I
surprise.
kind of like it.
Hussein was like the only one who didn't know about that.
Yeah.
For context, I like basically came back to Dubai without telling anybody, besides Josh and maybe a few others, and then got him to record, to get everyone to the beach and then record their reaction when I showed up.
Hussein hugged him for like 30
Yeah.
seconds.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Yo, this guy.
Let the
he
record
doesn't-
show we
Listen,
have,
by the way,
we
this guy
have
has
video
feelings, but He
proof.
doesn't like showing his feelings, my brother.
I don't have feelings.
Yeah, he doesn't like showing
I
his
don't know what
feelings.
feelings
If you
are.
tell me like, oh, he hugged you for 30 seconds, this guy's not having it, bro. What do you mean? I'm a man. What do you mean I hugged him?
I don't hug, bro.
I'm a
I
man.
just like.
No,
shake
but
hands.
Hussein, that wasn't the last time that happened. This has happened. You and Ben have fallen out more recently than that in the past few months.
Yeah, after the search. No, after the
No,
surgery
not in the
was
last
time
few
we
months.
followed
No,
up.
no, not last few months. Sorry, I mean
the last few months has been smooth sailing.
spring, summer.
It would
We're
have
all in
been
Dubai. Spring.
February to
Yeah, bro,
February
that
to
was,
what's it
that was what we
Spring.
were talking about.
Okay.
February March.
Well, when
February
we got
to
in the car,
April.
we had that like
Yeah, spring.
really weird conversation, if you remember.
In the car.
Weird conversation.
Like we were basically trying to settle our differences, and I was just telling them like, yeah, I think we don't get along, we don't have similar, which is bullshit. We do have very similar personalities, and I was like, we don't have similar personalities, we don't relate on anything. Like, why are we even friends? And then but point is, we sorted it out, and we're like very very good now. But it's like, one thing I wanted to ask both of you. I feel like as friends we'd be very jealous at times of each other. Like when I know for a fact when I hung out with my other friends, there would be like a little, you know what I mean? I remember one time I was just like chilling with one of my boys.
You want to shout him out?
Yeah, shout out Rehan.
Oh,
Oh, Rayhan!
why are we not getting shouted out? Rayhan gets shouted out, but we don't.
Because I'm talking specifically about
Wallahi,
Rehan.
it's fine. Wallahi, it's fine.
He was ranting this morning
No,
about
Rehan.
it.
I like Rehan. Rehan is one of my favorite
But yeah,
good friends.
I was in the car with Rehan,
Shout out
and then
Rehan.
I get a call from I don't know if it was Josh or Ben, but they were like together, and then like I just hear Ben in the background, Hussein, don't forget where you came from. Don't forget where you
Oh,
came from. Don't forget who your real
Was I
friends
being
are.
serious or was I joking?
No, you are being kind of serious.
you
I
were
can't
no,
remember
you-
why I called
like,
you.
it
I
was-
called you for something.
It was
Yeah.
one of those jokes that was like, I'm joking, but not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like
okay.
the thing is, what people have to understand, we do everything together. Like if if Hussein wanted to go to the mall to get some pick up his brother, he would be like, "Oh Ben, do you want to come for a drive to pick up my brother and drop him off, and then I'll drop you off." Like we just do everything together.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
We
No,
train
but
together
I feel
every
like-
night as well, and then we'd always do everything in the evening together, especially when we weren't at school. Like we do everything together.
But now if I was like, yo, I'm out with Rehan, you'd just be like, yeah, have a good time.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like you wouldn't give a shit. But back then, like it was serious. Like, how dare he hang out with somebody who's not me? you
Okay,
know?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you ever have that for him?
Honestly, no.
Be honest.
And I want to clear something up because
He did- yeah.
we still don't agree on this. But in first year, Ben and Josh met up in
Okay.
Oxford. And bro, that was when I was working at Shawarma Plus. You remember how hectic my life was?
Yeah,
And
this guy
bro,
was in,
like I was all over the place. And what's it called? And then like the week after, they both like tried to confront me, and they were like, saying, we know you were like really upset that you weren't there, and you were really jealous that you weren't with us. And I was just like, bro, like dead ass. I was just so happy for you guys, but I was so caught up in my own world, you know.
To be completely honest, like as a perspective of somebody who was living with Hussein at the time, you couldn't access this guy's feelings. I could not tell you if this guy was feeling jealous, feeling sad, feeling upset. He doesn't tell you. Even now, like I'm trying to get him to more open up about like things that go on in his life. This guy's not having any of it, broski. Like this.
What
No.
you mean I'm an open book?
You gotta open up, bro.
Open book, did this guy just say?
Open book.
Mental health is important.
Bro, no,
My
it's a
mental
book in
health is very
ancient
solid.
language that no one
Thank
can read.
Well, Harley, man.
But yeah, no. What about Josh? What do you feel about this whole like jealousy thing
So
between our
2020.
The thing is,
February or January.
I don't feel jealous. There've been periods of time, of course, where I feel like, yo, is this guy like drifting from me? I've thought that before.
That we thought that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we thought that
I thought-
recently,
I
like
thought
this
that,
year.
I thought that right before you left Dubai. I thought that. Actually, I haven't talked to you about this. I was gonna bring this up now.
Ooh.
Aha! I thought this, but then when,
Interesting.
but I was like, yo, is this guy drifting from me? Because I think there were 2 weeks and we saw each other once or twice. And then
Which isn't normal.
and then the last time we saw each other was in that shisha bar, and then you went away for an hour, and then I went away for an hour, and then by the time I got back, you had to leave. And I was literally thinking, when you left, I felt really weird. I was like, are we gonna stay the same? I was like, I've had so many moments like that. I've never been jealous. There've been times where I'm like, yo, is this guy drifting from me? Like, is this it? Am I losing one of my close friends? You know?
Bro, again, I think this boils down to me being so busy. I think I have a problem that when I'm really busy, I stop reaching out.
Can I just say,
Yeah.
Josh, like, that's like I'm that type of person. Like, because I think he has past experiences where his friends have drifted from him before.
Some
or
of his
whatever,
friends even like ditched him on his birthday.
right? Like, so now it just gets.
It was Ben. Okay. But yeah, continue, Zayd.
Yeah, this
We
is in
feel like-
this is in year what?
10.
10?
Oh, 11. But yeah, Zayd, continue, sorry.
Yeah. Anyways, continue.
No, I'm saying like, how do you like? Cause I'm telling you, like, even no matter how close I could be with someone, a part of me will still always be paranoid. Like, oh, will this person be my friend forever? Or will this person be my friend like genuinely? Whatever. Like, it's abandonment issues at the end of the day, wherever it came from your childhood or from your past experiences as friends, right? Like, Josh, talk about how, like, have you ever communicated that aspect of your personality to Hussein? And Hussein, what have you done to help make him feel like, oh, no, actually, I'm posted with you.
Me and Josh are different to me and Ben. Me and Ben clash a lot more than me and Josh. But I feel like when Josh raises an issue to me or I raise an issue to him, like that's it, issue settled. You know, like we've always been able to just work it out like straight away.
Was it the same in this thing?
Hey, well, like he just said, he never said anything
Yeah,
to me. But
no, it's 'cause-
the thing is, it was when I was so I was still working, and when I was working, I was waking up at 7 a.m. every day, and we were out. You and a couple of people left for like, said 5 minutes, but left for an hour, and I was just like waiting, but I had to go home because I had work the next day. And I feel like maybe you took that the wrong way, as in like, oh, like, screw Josh, I don't want to wait for him anymore. No, I just genuinely, like, I had work the next day. There was no issue. There was never an issue, like, on my end. I was just like, bro, the thing is, I'm happy, like, I'm okay if I don't talk to you for, like, 3-4 weeks, because I know if I talk to you the week after, like, so what? Like, we're still going to be where we were. I don't have to, like,
Exactly.
what's the word? Babysit our friendship. You know
Also,
what I mean?
guys, like, count your blessings. At the end of the day, you guys are talking about we don't talk for 3-4 weeks. I got friends that are like my day ones. Like, these are my brothers. Like, I will die for these guys. You know what I mean? And we might not talk for a couple months.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, so count your blessings too at the end of the day.
No, it's facts. You're right. That's what it's different here. Like, if it's just because we were in Dubai, and I was like, okay, because I didn't know when I was gonna see you again, but then at the same time,
Yeah,
at the same time,
You
we spent a
always
lot
say
of time
that, bro.
over the
No.
months. Over the months, we spent a lot of time together. So I don't know why I was feeling that
Every
way.
It's
time I
true.
see Josh, he goes, bro, I don't know when I'm going to see you
No,
again.
but
I
it's
see you
true.
every 4 months
What
later."
people-
You know what it
people
is?
won't
You just have
realize.
to like leave these things. You have to leave these things with God, because God will
Yeah.
always put you in the right position at the right time. At the end of the day, I was like, when I went to Canada, I was like, when am I ever gonna see my family again? I got co-op. I got whatever. COVID happened. I came home for 6 months.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like,
Right, it's like, yeah,
But,
when I was
so-
in year 11, like, I said to Josh, like, year 11, I was like, we're not going to see a lot of these guys again, so let's make prom for the boys. And then year 13 comes around, year 13 prom, and I'm like, you know, we don't know when the last time we're all going to see each other is. Let's
Every
make the
time.
most of it.
Every time.
And then, like, the end
And
of, like, you know, I have, like, left and came back to Dubai so many times being like, okay, this is my last time being in Dubai. For anybody who doesn't know, we lived in Dubai. FYI.
Yeah, if you
Like, I don't
didn't
know if
know.
you couldn't get that
If you
already.
know.
I think no. By this point, like, listeners of the podcast know that we grew up in UAE. You guys, I think you guys shaped more your personality in Dubai.
Potentially.
I identify very much with Sharjah. Like, I don't, you know,
Potentially,
Yeah.
yeah.
but yeah.
But,
Yeah, I'm not poor. So.
Okay,
No, I'm joking.
here's one thing.
Hey,
one thing
Sharjah, no. We're doing.
Oh, no, you just messed up. Okay, here we
No.
go. You wanted the professor's lecture on Sharjah and the history of Sharjah and why Sharjah is the greatest city in the world. Here you go. Okay, get ready.
We're doing this. We're doing this.
Bro,
Have
time,
you-
time.
We have time. Relax. Okay. Sharjah is the #1 city in the world. I don't care what anybody says. Right? Like,
Fair enough, bro. I respect that opinion.
Listen, let me tell you about Sharjah. Sharjah gets a bad reputation, but it's only because it's next to Dubai. That's it. If Sharjah was a city on its own, in its own country, I promise you they'll look at it like a metropolis. Sharjah has skyscrapers.
Metropolis.
Sharjah has a good standard of living. Sharjah has everything you need. Whatever it is you want, Sharjah has
You're
it.
not convincing them.
Like, Sharjah is my city, bro. Like, I love Sharjah.
Okay,
Don't
I'm
disrespect Sharjah.
claiming
Sharjah is
Silicon
better-
Oasis, bro. Silicon Oasis is
moving
my home.
on. I don't want to there's one big thing that I don't want to disregard. We haven't gotten a chance to talk about this, but obviously, I'm in training. I've been boxing for a while. Ben is about to fight. But
6
for
hours
those of
away.
you who don't know, Josh was an extremely high level swimmer, and
Nearly Olympic level, if
arguably
I'm not
more of an
mistaken.
athlete than both of us at a point in his life. Do you want to talk about your accolades in swimming?
I think he's not an athlete now.
Accolades.
He's not an athlete. No.
Flex on 'em.
Alright, so I used to swim a lot. From the ages of, I'd say, about 11 or 12 until 17. I was training minimum 7 times a week. At one point, 9 times a week. So that was
Jesus.
4 morning sessions, 5 evenings in a week. So it was really intense. Balancing it with school was kind of hard. But, I really enjoyed it for a period of time. And I competed a lot, once, twice a month. Obviously, I won some medals and things like that. And qualified for nationals once. And
What are nationals for people who don't know?
Nationals, so each country you have to qualify, so they different countries have different systems. So some of them you have to get a time and you qualify for nationals. In Malaysia, which is where I'm from, you would go to a qualifying meet, and if you placed high enough, you'd qualify for nationals, and that's what I did. So I qualified on my second attempt. My first attempt I failed. Second attempt I made it. I got there. I think I got third.
Do you just have to make a certain time?
No, I made a place. So I was like second or third
okay.
in that area of Kuala Lumpur. And then I went to Malaysia, and then I placed third again. But I forgot to collect my medal. Because I had
To get your medal.
yeah, I had a...
Can you still go get it?
I haven't, no, I had a flight. So literally, I did my race, I ran out, and I had to go straight to the airport, and I didn't get my medal. But I got third in 200 backstroke, so that was probably the highlight of my career. That was great. But then after that, shoulder injury happened and things like that. And
Rotator cuff, right?
Yeah, my rotator cuff. And then as I got older, I just realized that swimming wasn't for me. Literally, in year 12, I think, that was when I started being friends with Hussein. I started feeling it, swimming 8-9 times a week. You wake up at 4:45, 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
You swim for 2 hours, then you go straight to school, and then after school you swim again for 2 hours.
Especially with IB as well.
Exactly.
IB was super
Yeah.
stressful for you guys.
And then on top of that, I had my.
Bro, you did
I think,
so well in IB though.
we anyway.
Anyway,
we
last
did
week.
like Pilates.
Why
and,
would you have to go there?
I did worse than him.
Why did you go?
we did like Pilates and gym and stuff. It was just really hard to do everything, and I realized it wasn't for me. And it's not for everyone. Being an athlete, honestly, if you ever do anything athletic, even these guys, like they know, to make it to any level, even if you do one fight or one competition,
much
anything,
hard work.
it takes so much commitment.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah, it wasn't
especially
for
swimming,
me. Swimming, yeah, swimming for some. Yeah.
I don't know why I had like one of my roommates in first year, like in the residence, was like a swimmer. This guy wakes up every single day 5 a.m., swim 2 hours, go uni, come back. Like we can't party in the house, like bring people over, play music, anything. We can't do anything in the house because this guy has swimming at 5 a.m. in the morning. Like, you know how crazy that is? Like,
You have to change your whole life for it. Like,
That's it,
It
like-
becomes your life.
it takes over.
It becomes.
That's
your
it.
life.
You have to put your whole life to it, and if you don't love swimming, if you don't love it, you're not gonna do it because the money is horrible unless
Yes.
you're one of the best at
It's not,
sponsorship.
it's not there, is it?
Most swimmers have other jobs on the side, and professional swimmers. So to want to do it, you have to love it. It's not like football where you can be okay and still like get enough money to live,
Yeah.
But it wasn't for me. No chance.
And what do you do now? Are you just like on
Your
sabbatical
heart wasn't
from
even in the
sports?
sport.
Near the end, it wasn't.
Yeah.
So right now, what am I doing? I have a 5-a-side team, FC Milo. Shout out to my boys. We train once or twice a week. I like to run. I try to run. So usually I do a little jog before training, but then also by myself, I try to run. I live on top of a hill, so I try to run down and up it. I just do little things like that, to be honest, but nothing intense. I'm just living life and missing out on all those years I missed out in my childhood from swimming.
Yeah, because to be clear, like, this guy was locked down. Like, so I started hanging out with Josh in year 8. And, like, my dad, growing up, like, my dad was, like, he wanted me to have independence and learn as I went along with, money and stuff like that. That's not turned out very well because I still don't really save money that well or anything like that. But
You don't have to tell
like,
me.
He gave me a lot of life skills from giving me that independence, and I would like go out like when I was in like year 8 or 9, and he would like, you know, be like, oh yeah, just get a taxi, go see Josh if you want, but obviously, you know, don't spend too much money. And I'd go see Josh, and Josh would only be allowed out until 8 o'clock in the evening, and then his parents would call him back in. And that's not just year 8, that continued to year 11. So that's when you're like finishing your GCSEs, you know.
Wait,
You're
so 8
like,
o'clock curfew until you're 11.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
yeah.
Yep.
Because his parents made sure he was in, eating, showered, ready for swimming
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah, and I had to do all my schoolwork as well in the
Yeah.
little time I had. So yeah.
It was.
Do
it's
you
crazy,
ever
bro.
look back? Like, I know I have moments where I look back at like pictures of what my body used to be like. Do you ever look back and you're just like, damn, like I used to look good.
Obviously,
Yeah.
bro, I had abs.
What
My
did-
back
you
was
were
made.
shredded,
Wait.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
You used to
shredded.
weigh.
Huh?
You didn't used to weigh 60. What
I
you
did.
used to-
I did. It was 60. I've always been 60. Now
Yeah, but this
He's
isn't
just
2
lost all his,
kg, bro. This
he's
is not
lost
2
all his
kg.
muscle.
I lost. I
Man,
did lose
but
most
he's
of my
lost
muscle.
all the muscle and
I
gained it
have.
all in fat.
Yeah, so I gained fat obviously because you know all that swimming literally had me in shape, and then there's like a 1 year buffer. So my first year of uni, I still had a good body, and then it went. But of course, there are so many times I go through it, I'm like, damn, look at me, look at that, that's sick. But then I think to how hard I had to work for it and how much of my life I had to sacrifice. And there were so many times when I was swimming where I just felt down and depressed or, you know, just depleted and like, is this what I want to do with my life? And I think to now, I'm happy. I've got people around me that I love. I have a girlfriend that I love and she loves me. And it's honestly, my relationship with my parents is great. And everything's, my life is so much
Shout
better
out
now.
your woman. Shout out your woman. What's her name? Shout out your
Yeah,
woman.
Tia. No. but yeah.
She should break up with you over that awkward ass shout out, broski.
But honestly, I'm so much happier now, and I think physical health is great, and for a lot of people, it does help with mental health. But for me, my mental health is a lot more important than my physical health at this moment. But I'm still trying to keep fit. It's a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's very so obviously I can say we'd all struggled at some point in our lives with
Let's
with
talk
body
about how,
image.
let's talk about how you know your body image and you know our body images have affected mental health, because that's something that we talk about a lot, me and Hussein especially. You know.
Yeah. So I think I said this in the first episode, but back in high school, I was in shape. I looked good. I felt good. You know?
Lean.
Yeah, I
A
was
lean
pretty
11% body fat, even lower probably.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I was in really good shape. And to contrast that with now, if I'm not wearing a shirt and I'm leaning forward like this and I look down, I cry. You know, it's so painful to know where I was and where I am. But here's the thing, right? For me, it's a little different because I know Ben and Zaid, you're gonna get to talking about this. I don't feel the same way that you guys feel, in the sense where for me, it's I miss what I used to look like, because I used to be able to perform so well with the body that I had, you know. But it's never like I was so good looking, and I want to go back to being good. I don't care, you know. End of the day, I don't think I'm really ugly, and I think that's all that matters for me personally. Whether I have a good body or not, aesthetically, I don't care. It's just a matter of performance for me to I don't know, I don't think I told you guys, but I played football the other day, and it was just
You told me, yeah.
man, I couldn't beat anyone, I couldn't dribble anyone, I couldn't run past anyone. All I can do is play passes because I'm so heavy. I can't carry my body, you know. When does it stop? You feel me? But you know, recently I joined the new gym, and my coach told me that if I can get in shape really fast and really soon, then you know things might be looking up for me. I might be able to get a
Opportunities
fight
can
sooner than I
come for you.
expected.
That's
Exactly.
Sick, bro. Sick.
So all it takes now is I just really need to put in that work. And to be fair, I have been. Yesterday I did a 3K, and then I went and played basketball. After this podcast, I'm gonna go hit the gym straight away, you know.
Yeah.
And
You're
then
gonna go back to sleep.
no, man.
I'm going back to sleep. This podcast, they have me up at 6 a.m. for this podcast. I'm going back to sleep, bro.
It's
after
time
this
zones,
podcast.
bro.
Yeah, man.
And what's it called? And then I'll come home, sleep, whatever. Might go to football after. I'm on it now. I'm trying to diet too. You know, I'm not the best at dieting. We've been through this in the first episode, but shit is serious now, you know. So
Yeah.
I will.
When did you? I never like you never told me you flipped that switch. Like now it's
Because
serious.
we haven't spoken properly in like a couple of days, and this happened like what, a couple of
It
days
happened
ago. when I had
yesterday
that
or
training
2 days
session.
ago.
Okay, so we have to see if it
Yeah.
lasts now.
No, it will. This one will last. Like there's no two ways about it. Like my back is against the wall here, you know. If
Oh, yeah, you talked about it in episode 1. Now coach looks bad if you don't lose your weight and all that. Yeah.
Like my back is against the wall here, so
Khalas, okay, all the best.
weight will come off. Like I can promise that.
She diet advice.
Most definitely.
Most definitely. I mean, I
But,
suppose
yeah.
it's different for it was different for me in the sense that Hussein always looked good from like physically from year 12 when he joined the school. When he joined, you were like really lean, right? Like really lean. Had like the fucking cheese grater abs and everything, right? And you know, I suppose for me, I remember this the other day actually. So back in I think it might have been year 10. No, maybe year 9. One day I came back so I go back to the UK for a summer holiday, and I stay with my mum, or I used to stay with my mum when I was leaving school, and I came back to school. First day back, Josh comes up to me and Josh said, "Oh, it was Josh and Sammy Fisk. Shout out Sammy Fisk." Josh and Sammy, they came up to me and they were like, "Oh, well." Josh specifically was like, "Oh, Ben, you're looking a bit chubby, mate."
Did I actually?
Yeah.
Wow, what a prick.
No, remember this was like year
Oh, yeah, no,
9,
yeah,
I think.
okay.
So, and I was like, and I just
Those
and that
comments
sort of stuck
scared
with
the
me.
hell out of you, bro.
Yeah, but even in year 9, I didn't care, right? Because like I just you don't really care about your appearance. We were talking about this the other day. We see photos of ourselves with our shirts untucked, and we were like, "What the fuck have you got your shirt untucked?"
Yeah.
It's so cringe. Anyways, so in year 11, I was pretty bad, wasn't it? Like I was really fat, you know. There's a classic photo. I don't know if you put photos up on a podcast, but I'll send it to Hussein and he can have a look and see the
we can
difference. I
put it
don't think
up.
he's
We
ever
can.
seen it.
I promised an earlier friend that I would put up his photo in an earlier episode, and that didn't happen. So let me actually sit and try to put this up.
Okay.
You know?
I'll see if I can
It's gonna
find
be
it
editing-
first.
Yeah.
But it was pretty bad. And I was like, okay. So I started year 12 and I was like, right, this year I'm going to get fit. And I was doing a sports course as well. So they had opportunities for doing sports and, you know, trying to get in shape. So, you know, I started going to the gym, lifting weights for the first time. I did loads of research. And I started, you know, building some muscle. And I suppose that what I wanted to talk about was, you said it in the first podcast that you made, the external, what was it?
Validation.
The external validation.
Yeah.
It went, Josh can confirm this, went straight to my head.
My days.
It was like, you know, I put a bit of muscle on, and like, look, bear in mind, like I was not big or anything, you know, like I wasn't super muscular. I just was
You know,
really,
even
really,
Zaid said before the podcast. Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you. Zaid said before the podcast, it's like I looked at Ben's Instagram. Ben is a lot more like muscular and like his body looks better than yours. Like Ben,
Like,
like he actually,
no, what I meant to say is like out of the friend group, I think Ben's the decent guy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
that the thing is like I mean, if you looked at my Instagram, like those photos are from a while ago. You know, like I haven't looked like
Also,
that in a
there's
while.
some lighting help.
Probably
and
some good lighting in that as well.
Flexing.
Yeah. Anyways,
I think you were taking a shit upon taking some of these pictures.
yeah, I mean, like I was saying, you know, it got to my head that like a lot of everything I did was about how I looked, and it was about making sure other people liked the way that I looked. You know what I mean? So, for example, I remember one time, this girl in our school, she was like, I think it was
Are we
Cider.
name dropping?
Yeah, Cider. I was in English, and she was like, Ben, you know, it's crazy how much like weight you've lost. Like your face just looks so much thinner. Like you look so much like so good now. And like comments like that, you know, really just went straight to my head, I think. So I started
Especially
wearing
when
like
it's girls telling you, bro.
yeah, bro. Like even if like you know if you're attracted to the girls, if you're not attracted to girls, it's a compliment from a female. You know, it's like it makes you, especially for me. I don't know about other guys, but I can tell you, I'm
It
not getting
jumps your
compliments.
ego, I can't lie.
Yeah, I mean, I can say I'm not getting compliments every day from girls. You know what I mean? So having a compliment from a girl, I was like, oh, that's nice to say. You know, it makes us feel good. and that went straight to my head, and I became, should we say like a goon?
Yeah,
A fucking
that contributed to him like kind of forgetting his friends.
Yeah.
And then he changed a bit that year.
And I remember going up to Josh one time, and everybody's watching. You're gonna be, like, you're gonna think this is the most cringe thing ever. But I went up to Josh, bearing in mind, you know, I think I'm like the best looking guy in the world for some reason. And I go to Josh, I'm like, Josh, you know, ever since I started going to the gym, put muscles on, all the girls want me. Do you remember when I said that?
I remember straight after that, I turned to Hussein, I'm like, and that's why I don't talk to him anymore.
I was
like, this
I was
guy.
like, bro, so many girls are trying to pull me, and I was like, I look back on stuff like that now, and I just think that I'm so glad that I don't think like that anymore, because I was on that road, especially if I hadn't started boxing and stuff like that, and had an ego check, the way that I did, then I would definitely be like, you know, I don't want to name drop, but certain individuals who used to go to our school, you know, but.
All the high school demons are coming out, bro. All the high school demons are coming out right now on this podcast.
The thing is, like, it was a point in my... I mean, still to this day, a little bit, you know. I, like, that need for external validation is still there. Not to the point that it was, because I'm not as, like, shallow as I was anymore, you know. But, like, you know, getting in shape is still a big thing for me. Like, I couldn't... For example, like, before I started training for the fight, there was no way I was taking my shirt off in front of anybody. You know, that I didn't trust, at least. But, like, now, you know, I mean, I sent a video to Hussein the other day, and boy, like, he was gassing me up, and it's just... I weighed in this morning at 77.3, and...
Down from 84.
You know, it's just... you know, I suppose it's just... It makes... It feels good to look good, but... You know, it's good to have people around me, like these two, who keep my head on the floor, you know, keep my head out of the clouds and, you know, keep my ego down. Because if I had a bunch of, like, yes people around me, then, bro, will I be finished?
Yeah.
I was about to name drop, but I'm not going to.
Yeah,
I was literally so close to name dropping. No.
No, we can't.
Bro, high school is the biggest place where people have grudges with people, like, into adulthood. Like, more
Yeah.
than uni, more than anything.
Bro, I'm going
That's
to go
crazy.
into my adult life still hating the people from high school. Hey, if you're watching, fuck you. I still hate you to this day.
Hey, clean your heart. All I'm saying, they're living in your head rent free. Clean your heart.
Yeah.
Hold on. I like this saying a lot. Holding a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting them to die.
Cheers, Jeff.
Think
Wow.
about that.
You know how you tell me
Mashallah,
always
brother.
that when so Hussein has this running thing where he says that when I tell a joke, I always look at the other person to laugh,
That wasn't a joke.
right?
Oh, he does that
You're-
all the
Hussein-
time.
Hussein does that.
You're the same person, bro. You guys
Hussein is the
are.
same. Hussein is
Yes.
the same, but with
Yes.
inspirational quotes and like bars. If he drops a bar on you, he looks
about
at
that.
it's a bar, right? Like, yeah.
Bro, but here's the thing. I don't do it with jokes because I'm sure of my jokes. If I say a joke that I know is funny, I know it's funny.
No.
My,
Shut
my
the
quotes
fuck
and stuff.
up.
No, shut up. Wallahi, don't disrespect me. Wallahi, don't. No, I'm not having
Well,
any
okay,
of
we'll
this.
Talk,
disrespect
talk,
you, bro. It's
your,
not
talk
even
your
true.
shit, Ben and Josh. Talk,
No,
talk.
the thing is, they can't bring up any instances because you can't disrespect me, bro.
Hussein's biggest quote ever will be like, "Oh, thanks for laughing, guys."
Yeah,
When
literally.
nobody
You
laughed.
just wait. It'll be silence for like 10
No.
seconds and then he'll say that.
You didn't hear what I said. I said if I drop a funny joke, I know it's funny. I don't need that validation. I do drop a lot of jokes that are not funny.
No. There are times you drop jokes and
But
you're
you
like,
don't, like,
really?
who thinks
that was funny? That was funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who
Bro, do
thinks
you
that the
remember-
joke is not funny in their head and then
Josh-
says it?
Do you remember that one joke? Bro, I'm so proud of this joke. When do you remember when we got kicked out of the bus? Okay, I'll tell the story.
FYI,
after.
Kick that-
Hussein got the worst jokes award at prom. FYI.
Oh, he did. Wait, kicked out of what?
Kicked out of the bus when I had to pay your fine for 220 dirhams.
Oh my gosh.
What? You have to- what fine?
Yeah.
Why?
My
Okay,
kid
I'll tell
didn't
the story in a
have enough
sec. I'll tell the story in a sec. But basically, we get kicked out of this bus, and a couple days later, we're just talking, like we're in a group and we're talking, and then like I don't know, Josh started like piping up. I was like, Josh, you get kicked out of one bus. No, he was talking about like some like oppression thing. I was like, you get kicked out of one bus, you think you're Rosa Parks, calm down. And then, bro, everyone died. And that was like, I think I've never had more serotonin in my body than at that single point of my life, bro. I was like, just feeding off the energy. Everyone was laughing. But basically what
The
happened...
thing is, it wasn't even that funny of a joke.
No, bro, in context it was, bro.
In
No,
context,
you're not taking
in
that from
context
me.
it was. In context,
You're
it
not
was.
taking that from me, bro. But yeah, what
Shout out
happened
Rosa
was...
Parks.
Shout out Rosa Parks.
Shout out Rosa Parks.
Shout out Rosa Parks. Let's just put that out there. We love Rosa Parks.
So
Yeah.
this one
Sure.
night, this is before I started driving. This one night I was like, "Yo, Josh, let's go to the mall." And it was one of the malls that was accessible by his like from his house by what's it called, bus, which is very unusual
MOE.
in the UAE.
Hmm?
But
MOE.
yeah, MOE. And yeah, so we were like, okay, let's go to the mall.
Shout
How
out
are we
MOE.
getting there? And obviously, Josh is like, he likes to spend a lot. So he was like, instead of taking a taxi, let's take the really cheap bus. And even the really cheap bus, he couldn't even pay for. He had two bus cards. And I was like, yo, you have one job. I'm coming all the way to you. All you have to do is make sure that the bus cards have money on them. So it's like, okay, I'm sure they have money on them. Guess what? They didn't have money on them. So we get in the bus.
Did only one of them have money?
Yes, only Josh's had money. The one he gave me had nothing on it. So we get in the bus, and we tap the card, and my card says rejected. And then Josh just looks at me and goes, "Bro, just sit inside. And if an officer comes, we're legging it. We're running away." And then we get
You
to.
did that?
Bro, I swear to God, he said that. I swear. And then we get to the. So basically, the way it works.
I
Is,
have a prediction about the story. I'm gonna say it after. Go.
okay, so there are two stops, and the mall is right in the
Oh
middle.
my
So we
gosh,
could have
yeah.
stopped right before
This is the
or right
kickoff.
after. We would have walked the same distance. So we get to the stop right before, and then Josh is like, "No, let's wait for the stop right after. I think it's a little bit closer." So on the stop after, if we got off before. If we got off before, we would have been fine. But on the stop after, the officer comes in, he checks all of our cards, he looks at me, and he says, "You're being fined." And obviously, because Josh has so much money and wanted to spend all his money, I had to pay the fine. And then Mama, I know Mama's listening to this. Mama, you don't know about this, but I told my dad, and he was like, "Do not tell your mom. Do not tell your mom." But yeah, I had to pay that. My dad didn't even pay me back, like, because I had pocket money. And
Stingy,
I was like,
right?
Baba, can you reimburse my pocket money for this fine? He's like, "No. Who do you think you are?"
Fair
So I had
enough.
to
Wait,
pay
how
that.
much? How much was the fine? Was it 200 dirhams?
220.
I still
Okay.
remember the exact 220.
50
Wait,
quid.
let me convert that to
40 quid.
dollars. Hold on.
50 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I knew it. Like
40, 50.
Josh, you looked like the guy who.
$78 to a high school kid. That's a lot.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
looked like the kind of guy, bro, Josh, who will like incite the when the policeman comes, we're gonna run away, we're gonna be badass.
No,
this
bro,
and
he's
that.
not like that.
And then he's
He's
a good
not
boy.
like
He's
that,
a good
bro.
boy when anything happens.
He's a good boy all the time. That's what pissed me off. That
Yeah,
one time
yeah.
he decides to rebel, this happens.
But he didn't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
rebel. He was like, "Yeah, we're running away." Then he didn't do anything.
No, we
Yeah,
did try and
sorry,
get up.
officer.
We did, Hussein, we tried to get
tried
up,
to get up,
remember?
we tried
And then
to
he
get
told
up,
us,
we
he
tried
said, "You're not allowed to leave," and he didn't let him open the
But-
doors.
Something about Josh is he takes the bus as much as possible because he lives in one of the only areas in Dubai where the bus is actually accessible, and it's really cheap in Dubai.
Yeah.
One time we were in school and we were talking about
Oh
like
my
transport, how do
days.
we get to places and stuff. And then Josh
I
mentioned the
remember
bus. And then this one girl was like,
Sign up.
Oh, no, why are you name dropping?
Baited.
Wait, say the name again.
"No,
Say the name
bleep the
again.
name, bleep the name,
Signer.
bleep the name."
You already, this girl. There's
Sign
something
up.
going on with this
Anyways.
girl because you already name
Anyways.
dropped her for something else this podcast.
Moving on. So she says like, "Oh, like who takes public transport? What are you, poor or something like that?"
That's so privileged.
Yeah, so Josh lost it. I remember, and then we went to. I think we had math
I
after.
remember that.
He's like, "Who does she think she is? She called me poor. I'm just economical. I just spend my money
Oh,
right."
no.
But
Okay,
he
I
was
didn't do it
so
behind her back. I said
mad.
it to her face. I told
No,
her
you
to
said
shut
it
up.
to
I
her
was like,
face.
shut.
No, you said it
Yeah,
to
I
her
said
face,
it's your
and then
dad's
you
money.
just-
It's none of this
like-
money that you have.
Okay,
is
I
yours.
think okay, it's fine. I think we can move on from this argument. Like, she's probably watching me like, why am I being bullied?
She will not listen to this. If she listens to
Yeah.
this, I'll give you everything I have.
I'll kill myself. if she
I'm
listens
gonna
to
send
this,
him a
but
link
yeah.
now.
I'll find her. I'll make sure
No,
she listens.
don't.
I'll find her.
But anyway,
But Jose, how would you describe? Because
No. Wait, describe what?
how would I
no,
describe
no, no,
what?
no, no.
Okay.
How would you describe? I suppose how we look. And I say how we, as in me and you, how we look affects the way that we feel and act. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course it does. Of course, like I said that it's not about how I look; it's about how I feel, right? But it's also like like again, I don't care. Obviously, I do, but like not like to a crazy extent. If I'm like, if I have a six pack and I look sexy or whatever, like I don't, whatever, you know, like who am I trying to do
Yeah.
this for? But it's just more of a matter of like me, like the way I view myself, like I think I'm fat right now, like just like outright fat, you know, and what like feeling so fat and like being an athlete for like my whole life and looking like this now is just so like how am I gonna
Oh. Fucking hell, sorry.
Ben, are you his mom?
I'm trying to get him in camera, bro.
I'm in the camera.
This guy's the biggest
But-
sloucher I've ever seen. About you. Let's just forwards like this.
But yeah,
Anyways,
like
sorry.
like being like fat right now, like I'll just like I'll be in a situation. I'll be like, yo, how am I gonna pipe up, bro? If I jump, I'm gonna cause an earthquake. You know, like I'm just gonna shut the fuck up. You know, and it's just like it's very hard to be able to be confident in yourself, in your abilities, in your whatever. Like I'll tell you right now, if I got a fight tomorrow, I'm not gonna be confident for it. I definitely think I have the skills. I think I'm strong enough. I think whatever, like I'm good enough of a boxer to win whatever fight I'm in. But I know that like if I fight the way I want to fight, I'm gonna gas out in like 2 minutes. You know what I mean? So like you put me in a fight today, I'm not confident. I'm not ready. I'm not. You know what I mean? Whereas like, put me in when I'm fit. Like there will be like no ounces of my body that's like, yeah, you might lose. You might, you know, like I'm ready. You know. What about you, Ben?
Well, I suppose like a sort of way that I targeted. I didn't have to make a specific weight for this fight. You know, there was an allowance I could make, but I knew I could have stayed at 84 and still fought the same guy. You know, so like, you know, I don't think the only reason that I cut down really was because. Like I said, it was sort of like that external validation. I wanted to look good on the night. You know, I wanted to be in shape. I wanted people to look at me, still do because it's in a few hours. I want people to look at me and be like, oh, okay, he's taking it seriously. He's a fighter. You know, he's in
Yeah.
shape. He's ready for this. So, I mean, I'm still sort of nervous for it. Like, you know. Like, there's a lot of people in the UK here who, like, I'm friends with, but, like, obviously nowhere near the same level as you guys. So, I'm much more comfortable, like, being, like, you know, shirtless with you guys. Not in a weird way, but just, like...
Pause.
But, like, for example, like, if we were in the gym, Hussein, like, back in Tiger, like, I could whip my shirt off and train with
Yeah.
Tan, you know? Like, I don't know, like, it's just weird for me to think how people are, like... I go over the situations in my head over and over, like, a lot of the time I could be walking down the street, how has that person looked to me, like, how have they reacted to me, you know? And then, like, today I'll be thinking, how are these people going to think I look when I come out and stuff like that, you know? I still have that even to this day, even though, like, you know, I've got some abs back now, like, you know, I still think like that, you know, like, regardless.
What's the lesson behind that? The lesson behind that is no matter what your objective, like whatever you achieve objectively, no matter what that is, if your reason is external validation, you will never be satisfied and you will never be happy with what you have fully.
Yeah,
it has to
for
come
sure.
from you. It has to be for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
a lot of you know, especially at our age, where like you know you feel like, I mean, I feel like you look at like social media, you know, you see like all these guys like fucking super ripped, you know, like they're like models and stuff like that. You see like people commenting on them. You see you're like, oh, why do I wish I could get comments like this? And it's sort of like it's an unhealthy, like toxic thing that a lot of teenagers and young adults go through, where it's like they want to be something that they're just not, you know, or they're not yet, for no reason, just for that external validation, you know. And I'm sort of getting out of that point. But you know, for example, somebody the other day told me that I can't remember who it was. It might have been you, Hussein. You were like you were gassing me up, right? You were like, oh, bro, it's like you look so in shape. I was
Yeah.
like, I was like, but in my head, like I still don't think like that, you know. I still think like I'm more weight to cut, more weight to cut, more weight to cut until
Yeah.
like you know, like when hopefully at some point there'll be a healthy progression to stop, you know, where it's like okay, At this point, I just don't care like what people think anymore. But like, I mean, I'm still going into work. You know, I'm still like, I still do what I used to do. I still, you know, touch shirt. I still roll the sleeve up a little bit. You know, I still want to feel like I look in shape. Do you know what I mean? Which is, it's fine to think. It's fine to like look in shape and show it off, but it's not fine to do it if you're doing it because it makes you feel good at other people's reactions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. No, for sure, for sure. Just to, okay, so I want to circle back here just to kind of give the. So we usually do like towards the end of the podcast, or when we come to a close, we want to like take to our guests and ask them for the topics that we discussed, what advice
We
they
didn't
might
even
have.
play Two Truths and a Lie. We actually have too much to talk about.
No,
to be
no.
honest.
Do you want to do that really
I'm
quick?
down, yeah.
Okay, so we had this idea.
Did you guys prepare yours? I'll be honest, I forgot to do mine, but I can think of
Yeah, I
something.
forgot as well, but I
What?
can make it up. Two truths and a lie. And I think Zayd's guessing, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I like basically
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
I
Hussein
get
is
told
my
about
brother,
this.
obviously, so I know him, right? So it's Hussein's my brother, so I know him. I know Josh a little bit more than I know Ben, so I know everybody to varying degrees, and I'm gonna guess which one like is the lie out of you three guys. See what you guys are saying.
I can really do
Okay,
well in this. I
okay,
think
okay.
because
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
got some crazy stories.
All right, you guys go first, because I'm still thinking.
Josh can go first.
No, I don't want to go first. You go
Two
first.
truths and one lie.
Two truths, one lie. You go first.
Okay. Okay, let me think about this. Two truths, one lie. And how vulgar can I be in what I'm saying?
You get one cuss word. Yeah.
That's not enough, I don't think.
We'll make it okay. We'll make
Hold on. Text me what you want to say. I'll tell you if it's
I
acceptable.
can't, it's recording the video.
Yeah. Our
Okay,
phones are.
stop. Listen. Just be very like, if you want to say something vulgar, say it in like a PC way, if that makes sense.
Okay, he can't say that. He can't
Okay,
say
I
that.
can't
He
say
can't.
that,
He
okay.
cannot say that.
I'm very curious, you know.
That's crazy.
I just wanted, because I knew Zayd wouldn't
Oh, is
believe
this
that.
is this what I think it is?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Right.
I'm just gonna say one word. Continent. There you go. Now,
He won't get that, he's too stupid to understand.
just think about the continent.
Hold on. Right,
when
can
he
it-
was in
okay,
America.
two truths and one lie, anything.
Yeah, you could be a little bit vulgar, but obviously don't say anything that'll get you cancelled.
Hussein, bro, you
Right?
start, bro. You're a fucking
Yeah,
host.
yeah. So you start as the host.
Okay. So thank you for watching.
Oh, wait, are we abandoning this game?
No, I'm thinking. Bro, okay, you go. Do you have any?
Yeah, okay. No, but I thought the whole point was for me to guess.
Okay. I recently didn't tell anybody, but I think I tore something in my left knee.
Okay.
I've never been punched in the face without a glove.
Okay.
Oh, wait, two truths and one lie. I'm a virgin.
The second one is obviously the lie. Never
the
been
lie?
punched in the face without a glove.
What do you guys think?
That's obviously
He has
that's
been
the
punched
lie.
in the face. He's had. Do you remember all those like?
No, two truths and a lie.
Oh, two truths and one lie.
Two
What
truths
was
and
the
one
first
lie.
again? No,
Yeah.
'cause
What was the third one?
he's a
He's
virgin.
right.
I'm a virgin. Guys, obviously the virgin is the lie. Obviously.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Stuff all
We
over.
know.
Okay.
Shut up.
No,
Oh, no, I
I'm guessing.
remember. No,
I'm guessing
I-
the second one.
The second one?
Yeah.
Is that you're locking in?
Yeah,
I'm guessing the
in,
first-
you've been
I'm
punched in
guessing the
face without a
first
glove
one.
Before 100%. You know why? Because I've punched you in the face without a glove before.
No, I'm talking like proper fight, like pah, like with
paw.
intent.
Yeah,
Okay,
like pop.
not that hard.
And
You've
and
been
not
punched
yours
that hard.
because all your punches were like big brother punches don't count. Like big brother cuz you're like I'm punching to her but like not really. You know.
Okay, then I'll switch to the first one.
Yeah,
You
it was
think-
the first one.
Yeah, you think you tore
I've actually never been punched in the face without a glove like
So
in
you
a
actually
fight.
you actually tore something?
No, that's the lie. I've never been punched in the
Ah.
face and I'm a virgin.
Okay. I guess they're right anyway. It doesn't matter how I thought of it. Leave me alone.
Okay, I've got one for you.
Okay.
Zayd.
Go ahead.
Okay, I have to figure out how I word this. I am going for it, by the way.
No.
A video. Okay, but it's two truths or two truths.
Okay,
Wait,
no, be careful here. Be
He
careful
can't, he
here.
can't,
Be
he-
careful here. Be careful here. No, no.
See that? I told him he can't say that. I told him he can't say that.
Don't say that one.
What was he gonna
I'll-
whisper to?
I'll
Whisper
tell you
to?
after. I'll
Okay.
tell you after, but don't say that one.
Okay, right. I won't do that. Okay.
I know nothing.
You're
okay?
moving mad.
It's- this is
You're
just-
moving mad. No.
Is it just?
I know.
Okay. Is it just?
You're
Is it just for
crazy.
Zayd? Like you don't have to guess this, Hussein, right?
Huh?
Like, cause you guys all know the
Yeah.
answers.
Yeah. This is for Zayd.
All right. Okay. Recently, within the last month, I knocked somebody out unconscious. Right. That's the first one. Second one. I was very, 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 very close to what's his name? Di Maria, Angel Di Maria, in Old Trafford one time when he used to play for Man United. And 3, I played for the UAE national under 19s rugby team.
What's the lie?
The first one's the lie.
No, he didn't make it into the UAE national team because he wasn't heavy enough.
Really?
This guy just
Wait,
wanted to
when
flex
you
that he
get to
knocked
Di
someone
Maria?
out.
What?
Oh,
You get to Di Maria.
I
Yeah,
what
in
do you
the
call it?
stadium, obviously.
He was it was what do you call it? You know when I went down to see Sammy,
Yeah.
we were like close to Old Trafford.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that far, and he was doing some like photo thing outside
Oh
of
man.
Old Trafford.
Di Maria. Oh, that's
But
cool.
like he wasn't like we could have.
Shut up, Josh. You don't even like him.
Ooh.
Okay,
Oh,
we have enough
hold
to
up.
sync it. We have enough to sync it.
Okay, so we're good?
Start recording again?
It says insufficient space.
No, cancel it. No, hold on. Click. Okay. Never.
we
Yeah,
have enough to
we're good. We're good. Because we never had to pause it once,
Yeah.
thankfully.
Okay,
So-
Josh, what's yours?
Okay.
Alright,
Josh, go
so
ahead.
sync it again. Are we syncing again?
No, it's synced. It's synced.
Okay, anyway.
They just want to do the clap. They got excited
Yeah.
by the clap.
Okay.
It's okay, you can clap.
Though I have come close a few times in the last year, I've never actually got into a physical altercation.
Like in your life or in the last year?
In his life.
That's such
Uh,
a, yeah.
yeah, in my life. And then number 2, yeah, I've actually, I didn't tell you guys this, but my shoulder injury fully healed. Like I checked it out last year because I had to have like physical done, and fully healed. And the third one is
Now we
That
know.
one's, now we know the lie. Whatever you guys say, I'm going to tell you that's the lie.
I quit. I had a choice between football and swimming, and I bunned football off, like without.
Yes, that's the
hesitation.
lie. That's the lie. That's the
No.
lie.
That's
Oh, wait,
the-
okay, hold
that's
on.
the truth.
Let me.
I'm going for number 2. That's cap.
That's the second one. I think it's the
Yeah.
second one.
Yeah, I believe that he never got in a physical altercation. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
go number 2. I believe that.
There you go.
Dub.
Well, number 2 is a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. My shoulder injury's still there.
You're not gonna casually just be like, oh, I never told you this, but on the podcast when
Yeah,
it airs,
man, exactly.
I'm gonna tell you that we.
What about-
we showed
but-
the
What
video.
about you,
Okay.
Zayd? I want to hear one from you.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me see. Damn. Okay, but
And
let
then,
Ben
and
guess
then we
'cause
can
Josh
wrap
and
this
Hussein
up
both
because
kinda
it's
know
getting
me.
close.
Okay.
So let Ben guess. Okay, so
Okay.
let me think. Okay. What do I say?
I don't know, bro.
Okay. I've been knocked out cold in a street fight before. Right? Like cold. What else? I'm trying to think of a couple more things to say. Damn, this is actually tough, man. I commend you
Yeah,
guys
it
for-
is.
for
It
thinking these
is.
things. Let me think.
Let's move on and then like
No, hold
just
on.
before the outro because we don't
Okay,
want
yeah,
any
yeah,
silence
yeah.
time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just think and we'll come back to it.
Come back. Okay, so
So towards the end of every episode, we like to ask the guests if they have any advice for any listeners. So if you could look to the camera, like go on, like take your turns each. Look to the camera like adults.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
I
But
forgot I
advice-
had
You-
to mention that.
no,
You
hold
go
on.
first, man.
Advice when it comes to like I want to ask you specifically advice with like a close group of friends who may be having issues between them. Like, what do you guys want to tell them to like tap into in terms of like how should they navigate maybe turbulent times in their friendships and stuff like that if they know they're friends but they keep having issues and stuff? What would you have to say to them?
I'm gonna give two bits of advice. One being is what I would have wanted my younger self to know. So first one about friendship, just communicate. So important, and I know it sounds generic, but it is so important to just speak to each other, even if like it's just as simple as like, bro, are you okay? How are you feeling about this? Like, it's so easy as guys, especially, to not check on each other and, you know, make sure that everything's all right. If a problem's happened between like you and your friends, you've got to talk about it. Otherwise, it never gets resolved. That's how so like 90% of our arguments have come from just not communicating with each other.
Right.
In my opinion, at least. So the best thing to do is just communicate. Just get it all out in the air. Get your opinions out there. Just make sure that your voice is heard, the other person's voice is heard, and try and resolve it that way. The second thing I would say, second piece of advice about girls, right? Don't. It's not that deep. Like if you're like, you know, if you're, for example, I'm 20 now. If you're like, you know, 20, 19, 18, 17, however old you are, if you're stressing about girls, right, it's not that deep.
not.
Literally,
It's not.
who cares,
not.
bro? Like, honestly, if a girl, you know, that you like, you want to ask her out, bro, just go ask her out. She says no, who cares? I'm not at that point yet, but who cares?
Take your own advice, man. Take your own advice.
But, like, seriously, like...
Do what I say, not what I
not
do.
Even about, not
Yeah.
even about asking out, but even just about in general, about, like, you know, just, like...
Don't let a
In
girl
general,
like
you shouldn't care
get to your
what people
head,
think. Yeah. Don't care
like-
what people's opinions are about you, if whether they're female, male. Don't care about if they find you attractive or not. Don't, bro, it doesn't matter.
Alright.
Not to say because like a lot of people might look at that and be like, oh, but they're being sexist, like, oh, why shouldn't he care what girls think? No, like, it's just because men in general, guys in general, they be having like a lot of toxic masculinity, so they do gas themselves up and put like a lot of
Sure.
boost in their ego and off of girls' comments. So that's all we're saying is don't do that.
So a
Don't let
lot of
them get
people
to you
want
in a toxic way.
validation. Yeah, so a lot of people want validation because I feel like
100%.
men are specifically just so drained, such a lack of attention from girls. Like, do you know what I mean? Not in a bad way. It's not like it's girls' fault or anything.
No,
it's just like that.
yeah.
It's just on the regular. I feel like you could say girls get a lot more compliments than guys.
Yeah.
So when a guy gets, you know, for example, a guy gets a compliment, he'll feel more about it than, for example, I think a girl would get a compliment. It means more to him. So I would just say, you know, just don't stress about it.
Yeah.
I know it sounds like bad advice, but it's
Yeah,
actually
no,
very good
it's
advice.
true. If something's meant to happen, something's meant to happen.
You go. What's your piece of advice?
Alright,
Stupid bitch.
number one, don't forget what people do for you. That's important.
Don't forget where you came
alright?
from. Don't forget your roots.
No, let him tell it seriously, bro.
It's not your roots, but like, I mean, kind of. If your friends are there for you, like if you've been through the trenches together, you've experienced stuff together, and you have a little bump in the road, you have a falling out, and you think to yourself, yeah, that's it, it's done, whatever.
Yeah, don't
like
throw it
like
all
we've
out the
said,
window.
don't do that. Don't do that. You have to actually force yourself to think back to what you guys have done together, and think about how much friendship means. All right, because honestly, after family, friends is the most important thing. Because
This is for
friends
who
are-
do stuff together.
you.
Yeah, I mean, like,
It's true.
I consider these guys like my brothers. I don't consider them my
Exactly,
my
like,
friends,
that's-
like
that-
their family. So like,
exactly.
I'll be friends with these
Yeah,
guys.
you guys
for
are like
life.
the brothers I never had.
No,
Get
no,
out, get out.
no,
Stand up, leave. The door is that way, bro. Leave the podcast. Oh my god.
No, I'm joking. Obviously,
But I'd say
Yeah.
Nah,
I'd say
I'm
that
cheese
like
now.
we've done a lot of nice things for each other, and whenever things get shitty between us, like I don't know, over the past few months or whatever, I
learned to
always
stick
think
it out.
I'm like, yo, this guy got me AirPods one time. This guy came. Well, I haven't had it recently, but I'm like, well, no, this guy. What have we been through together, you know? And on the subject of girls, I'm gonna add to it as well. Don't force anything. Like if something is meant to happen, it will happen. If you try it and she says no, move on. it's not that deep. Like he said,
No
It-
means
it's
no,
The
honestly,
guys.
best piece of advice anybody
But
can
that's
get for girls
honestly-
is not that deep, you know.
honestly not that deep. Like if something's meant to happen, it will
Especially in
happen.
high school, you know. It's so
Yeah, exactly.
Like you look like a monk. Looking back at it now,
Exactly.
I look back on what I was like in high school, how I like reacted with girls and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I think, oh mate, you fucking loser. Honestly, get a life. Seriously.
But yeah, Zay, did
yeah.
you think of your two truths and a lie?
I did actually.
Okay, let's go.
So the first one, I've been knocked out cold before in a street fight, right? The second one is I've dapped up Drake, like person, like on like a quick one, like he was just passing and I saw him in turn, I dapped him.
Jeez.
That's the second one, and the third one, did I forget it? No, I didn't forget it. The third one is that I won the basketball trophy for our house at in-house basketball because I hit the shot that gave us the go-ahead.
Ooh.
What do you guys think?
Ooh. You
First two, I'm struggling with.
It's on you, bro.
I reckon he could get the third one. Has he dapped up Drake? I feel like that's something Hussein would tell us.
Maybe it already happened.
But again, I'm like Toronto's right there. You know what I mean? Like we're around. That's also another thing you need to think about.
Isn't Drake on tour right now?
No, but he didn't say right now. He just said, he's done it.
Which I reckon, yeah, there ain't no way you've dapped up Drake, bro.
So that's what you're saying. The first one, the second one, sorry.
The second one's a lie.
Josh, what are you saying?
My nose is running, bro.
I think I'm gonna say the third one. I'm gonna say the third one's a lie. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
You don't rate his basketball skills like that?
Huh? No,
I heard you
no,
chatting
no,
shit
no.
about his basketball skills the other
He's
day.
garbage.
The thing is, Hussein
Garbage.
likes to chat, bro. But the thing is, no, I just don't think you've done that. I don't know why. I just don't.
Well, actually, I watched it with my own eyes, so yeah, it happened.
Yeah. So the
And
lie.
even the
Oh.
first one I watched in my own eyes. Actually, he got knocked out defending my honor. For those of you watching, just letting you know.
Defending your
Nice guy,
honor.
bro. Actually, no, I
Basically-
wasn't defending you.
Yeah,
I was
do you
defending
remember?
myself.
No, bro. When he was like, you know when you're playing like when you're playing really bad,
And they
like
send you
the,
defense.
yeah, the good players will tell you go defense.
Yeah.
So someone told me go defense, and Zay was like, no, he does what he wants. He's playing good. He's better than you. Whatever. And then the guy was like, then they started like talking up, and then it happened.
Yeah, bro. I was cold for like a good 5 seconds. I was like out. And then I woke up. I didn't feel anything. I got hit.
Did
bang,
you defend
flash
your
of
brother,
light.
Hussein?
Bro, I was like 10.
Yeah.
Ah, you little bitch.
You were like 12. I was like 14, and the guy was like 16.
Maybe,
Yeah.
possibly. There's
So-
nothing I would have done. Bro,
Why
back
is he
then,
bullying? Nah, bum.
bro, if Zayd can't take him,
No.
I'm not going near that, bro.
But, like-
Zayd was like a big guy, bro. And bear in mind, I was a stick. Like I had no body, no nothing. I was just a stick, and I didn't know how to fight either. So if Zayd can't take that guy, if he's knocking Zayd out, imagine what he's doing to me. Like
You just don't have to be scared. Like
Yeah.
you can get knocked
So
out.
I was right. It was Drake.
It was Drake. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Drake.
Yeah.
No.
I
Shit.
never dapped up. I never seen Drake. I don't know like nothing about Drake. Like I don't know anything. But yeah. So that's that.
Yeah, on that note, guys, I want to thank you
Cut
guys
it
so
close.
much for being our first online guest.
Yeah, big milestone.
We didn't want to have any online guests for a while, but you guys are very important to me, and I really wanted you guys to be on the podcast. So we
This
kind
guy
of
pressed your issue. I will not lie.
we
He
kind of
pressed
had to
your
make
issue.
it happen one way or another. So I really appreciate you guys giving
Shout
up your
out.
time. I know you like Josh, you could be touring Newcastle right now, but you decided to stay in and do the podcast with us. So thank you so much.
Wait,
for
speaking
that,
of
bro.
Newcastle,
Thanks,
Ben must be on cloud 9 after the deal, huh? You must be like flying through the air.
Bro, I need to get my Condora out, bro. I need to get my Condora out.
You already
Yeah, thanks
know.
for having us, though. Thanks for having us, guys.
Of
Really
course,
enjoyed it.
it was my
I really
pleasure, and
enjoyed
it will happen again, hopefully at some
Yeah,
point.
for sure.
For
I'd
sure.
love
This
to.
was episode 5, episode 6. I'm Ben.
No,
Josh, if you want to come back.
I'd love to come back. This is actually
For
really
sure.
fun. Makes me
For
want to start a
sure, yeah.
podcast, man.
Bro, do it, man.
Yeah,
If you have a
honestly, do
thought in
it.
your head,
We'll
do
support
it.
you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We'll support you for sure. But with that being said, you guys want to post for the thumbnail of the video really quick?
Oh, okay. Well, look at the camera.
Yeah.
Alright, ready?
Look at the camera, post for the thumbnail. Alright, with that, thank you guys for watching.